Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. This is Saturday. It is the What If experiment, and today is going to be slightly different to the experiment we've been doing. Whereas before we've been leaving the AI to control what happens in these experiments, today it is going to be a simple what if I was the England manager. Yes, hello and welcome, and before we get into this episode, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And the premise of this is, after last night's 4-0 defeat to Hungary in the Nations League, in my opinion, Gareth Southgate has fluked his way through some of these past few tournaments. A tournament in which we should have made the final, where we got knocked out against Croatia in the World Cup, the Euros in which we were found out by any teams that were half decent. That Italy game in the final we should have won. Undoubtedly, the way we sat back after we took that lead was just so disappointing to watch. So for this experiment, I am going to take control of the England lineup. I am going to see if I can lead England to glory. We're going to play through two tournaments. We're going to play through the 2022 World Cup in Qatar and then the 2024 Euros. Those are two competitions we're going to play through, and we're going to see if I can do better than Southgate. So here we go. Daniel Derby has been appointed the new England head coach. No previous managerial experience to call upon, but who needs it? We're going to do a good job, right? Let's get into this and let's see what we can do. So this experiment will just be one episode. It won't be multiple episodes. It won't be like a general series where we do little bits of time. It's going to be one sort of chunk as we play through. I'm not going to show you every game. I'm not going to show you every goal. I'm not going to show you any of that weird stuff. I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to play through. I'm going to show you bits and pieces. Obviously the important stuff, competitions and that sort of thing. We're not bothered about qualifiers. We're not too bothered about the Nations League. We just want to get through, and we want to be, showing the highlights of this experiment. So this is the first European qualifying group matches. We start up against Albania in 6 days' time. We have took the suggested squad. So the three goalkeepers are Pickford, Pope and Ramsdale. The defenders are Maguire, Stones, Tomori, Gomez, Kyle Walker, Reece James, Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell. You got Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson, James Ward-Prowse, Calvin Phillips, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho as the midfielders, and then the strikers Harry Kane, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson and Tammy Abraham. That's going to be the 23 that goes into these fixtures against Albania, against San Marino and against Andorra. Should be pretty simple going. We've got Hungary and Poland coming up in October, and then San Marino and Albania in November, and then there's nothing yet scheduled for 2022, but it's a comfortable start. We should be able to pick up really 9 points here from these 3 games in this week. So the lineup for the first England game looks like this: Ramsdale in goal, Chilwell, Stones, Tomori and James, Rice sitting in front of them, Phillips and Henderson in the midfield, Sancho one side, Sterling the other, Kane up front. We're going for the trusted 4-3-3. Torn between that and the 4-2-3-1, but in terms of attacking central midfielders, we've only got Oxlade-Chamberlain and Grealish that can really play there. Obviously Harry Kane can play there, but why are we going to play our best striker as a attacking midfielder? So we've gone with the 4-3-3. It's tried and trusted. I've used it in a few of my saves, so very happy with that. So let's get into the opening game. We're not going to show you too much of these. We'll probably just show you some highlights, bits and pieces. Albania against England, the first qualifying game, our first game in charge of England. Comfortable 3-0 victory, first time out. Goals from Calvin Phillips. He got the first shot from the edge of the box, beating the goalkeeper into the top corner. Second was scored in the 75th minute. That was from Jadon Sancho. Made hard work of it for most of the game. The ball comes over here, Kane goes down, Sancho gets through ahead of the goalkeeper and beats the goalkeeper in a one-on-one situation. And then the third and final goal came in stoppage time. Ward-Prowse's free kick, delivered in towards the far post, Stones with the header and Grealish arriving to nod into a pretty much empty net from about a yard or two. 3-0, very comfortable, and we move on to San Marino. That goal for Jack Grealish is his first England goal in the save. 25-year-old getting the goal, obviously coming off the bench to do so. And that's good for him. Hopefully that gives him some confidence. Not that he needs any. Plenty of changes as we go into the game against San Marino. This hopefully should be a demolition job. Pope in goal, Shaw, Tomori, Maguire and Gomez. Ward-Prowse sits in front of them. Sancho and Phillips in the centre of midfield. Grealish one side, Chamberlain the other. Tammy Abraham starts up front. That is, I believe, 8 changes from the last game. As far as I can think, only Sancho, Phillips and Tomori keep their spots. So let's go. As we go to look at the highlights, look at that score, look at the shots on target as well. Ward-Prowse is ball in, Abraham heads in for 1-0 inside 11 minutes. Second goal here, ball into Abraham. He turns it around the corner for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, runs through, squares it back. Calvin Phillips tucks home from inside the 6-yard box for 2. Third goal on the 19th minute. Again, San Marino just getting nowhere near us as expected. Grealish with a little back heel into Sancho, ball through. Tammy Abraham takes a touch, beats the goalkeeper for his second. 3-0 there, and I'm going to quickly just speed this up slightly. Ball into Grealish, squared across. Tammy Abraham hit the post. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain pulled it back for Calvin Phillips, who fired in. That was 4-0. That was inside half an hour. Literally straight after that, ball fired out to the right hand side. Oxlade-Chamberlain to the byline, pulled it back. Abraham with a bullet header, making it 5 on the half an hour mark. Then about 90 seconds after that, Sancho with the ball through for Tammy Abraham, took a touch round the goalkeeper. He made it. I think that was 5 at this point, maybe 6. Abraham laying the ball back to Sancho. Grealish through ball for Abraham, beats the goalkeeper. Keeper not even diving at this point. I think that was 4 in about. Calvin Phillips scoring the penalty there. I think that was 5 in about 5 minutes or so. Then there was a little bit of a gap towards the hour mark as James Ward-Prowse found Jack Grealish. He beat the goalkeeper from a tight angle. That was 7, I believe, at that point. You can tell I was losing count. I had to get the abacus out at this point. Keep flicking across. Sterling with the ball in. Kane off the bench to touch in, as you'd expect him to do against this level of opposition. Kane with the through ball for Sterling in behind the defence. Rode the challenge really well and just beat the goalkeeper comfortably. That was with 10 minutes ago. About 90 seconds after that, James Ward-Prowse into Declan Rice, long ball through. Harry Kane took a touch, beat the goalkeeper from 20 yards. A couple of minutes after that, Grealish out to the left hand side and Chilwell, his ball in. Harry Kane beat the goalkeeper. I believe that was his hat trick there. And there you have it, 13-0. Tammy Abraham getting 5, Jack Grealish with 1, Calvin Phillips getting a hat trick. Harry Kane getting a hat-trick as well. James Ward-Prowse getting an assist. Sancho with an assist. Everyone turning in performance. It was what we expected. XG of 8.72. 113-0. Job done. On to the next one. Third game should be another demolition job. Ramsdale in goal. Chilwell, Gomez, Tomori and James. Ward-Prowse in front of them. Rice and Phillips in midfield. Sancho one side. Grealish the other. Calvert-Lewin up front. We decided to go for a team that relatively inexperienced in terms of caps. So let's get into it. It should be another comfortable victory away at Andorra. 5-0 victory, comfortable as you like. Sancho scoring in the 36 minutes. Ward-Prowse scoring a penalty on the stroke of half time. Calvert-Lewin scoring 2 in 4 minutes to seal the game, make it 4-0. And Tomori getting a goal on 76. Very comfortable. What's that? 21 goals scored, no goals conceded. Very, very comfortable. We're going to come back in the next lot of international fixtures. We'll show you the result of the Hungary game and we'll get into the Poland game. That'll be our first difficult task as manager, so we'll show you that game as an actual game rather than just the highlights package after the game is finished. Then we've got San Marino at Albania. Not too bothered about showing them again. We beat Albania away, so we should be comfortable beating them at home. As with San Marino, 13 past them at home, so we should do a decent job on them away. So those 3 games we're not going to really show you. The Poland game will show you pretty much in full as we see how good we are against a live opposition. So we have gone with a little bit of a change what we said. We're going to show both games, the Hungary and the Poland game. Obviously, being beaten yesterday at home against Hungary dictates that that's going to be a game that I'm going to show as well as Poland. So the lineup we've gone for these set of games is Pickford in goal, Pope, Ramsdale as the 3 goalkeepers. No one has to Pickford in goal, I meant those 3 are the goalkeepers. You've got Kyle Walker, Reece James, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Tomori, Ben White, Chilwell, Alexander-Arnold as the defenders. The midfielders are Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Calvin Phillips, Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling and Jack Grealish. And the strikers, because I class Rashford probably as more of a striker, Rashford, Kane, Abraham and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're going to go strong in these, and then when we come up in the games against San Marino and Albania, we'll probably have a much younger looking side as we look at some of the youngsters that we can filter into the squad over the next 2 tournaments. I'm not sure, there's still no fixtures come up for the year of 2022, so we're going to get into Hungary and Poland. We're going to show you both games, and hopefully we can continue our unbeaten start, our winning run, and not concede any more goals. And the squad as we get into this game is Ramsdale in goal, Chilwell, Tomori, White and Walker, Henderson sitting in front of them, Phillips and Foden in the centre of midfield, Grealish one side, Sterling the other, Harry Kane up front. Let's see if we can do one better than what Gareth Southgate did last night. I realise I said better than what Southgate did last night. This is being filmed on the Wednesday, the day after the defeat, the 4-0 defeat against Hungary. That's why I'm referring to it as yesterday. As Harry Kane looks for that ball through for Raheem Sterling, one-on-one straight at the goalkeeper, Galatsky. That was pretty poor there as he went through on the right-hand side. Probably should have done better, and it remains 0-0. We've started very well once again. What you'd expect at Wembley, we'd expect to beat these. Hungary are second in our group. They have 12 points. So far, we have, as it stands right now, 17. As that ball goes fired over. I'm not going to try with some of these Hungarian names because I am going to absolutely butcher them. Considering on FM20 I spent a good 15-20 years managing in Hungary, I didn't need to say the names out loud. That ball goes over the top. Sterling gets there first. It's onside. It's 1-0 inside 20 minutes. And that was a brilliantly switched ball from Kalvin Phillips. And Raheem Sterling beats the goalkeeper. And I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing there, having his little dance. Grealish into Phillips on his right foot. And that ball is exquisite. Defender just doesn't go with Sterling. First time, slots it behind the goalkeeper. It is 1-0. It's going to be a throw-in deep in the Hungarian half. Kane nips in though and takes the ball off, pulls it back for Kalvin Phillips. Into Sterling, shot blocked. Foden heads into the empty net, 2-0. And we are doing the job that we need to do here. Another game, another victory. And now it's all about hanging on to that clean sheet. Doesn't matter if we score any more goals. Just keep the clean sheet. We're 2-0 up. We're going to keep going the way we're going. We're going to keep attacking. But job, I feel, is done. Hungary have provided nothing apart from that one skied shot as we saw earlier on. That's all that's happened. We're going to get into half time now, and oh, we've got one more highlight as Grealish with an out-swinging corner headed away. Who's going to get there first? Foden dives in, and what a great challenge that is. Well done there. Him playing at in the central midfield role, picks the ball back up, goes back to Ben White. Tomori now out to Chilwell on this near side. Henderson again. Phillips, Chilwell, Grealish, infield to Phillips. Goes back to Tomori. Phillips again. That's been cut out. And are Hungary going to be able to counter-attack? They go all the way back to the goalkeeper. And we don't put him under enough pressure. As Saleh down to Slazy. Kadar on the left-hand side. Can he get the cross in? Gets past his man. Ball comes in and headed in by Slazy. And what is the referee checking for? Because I didn't think that looked anywhere near being offside. It's not offside, and moments after I was saying about keeping a clean sheet, we concede, and it's 2-1 here at half time. Galatsky with the goal kick headed away by Tomori. Saleh into Nikolic. Fiola goes in field and now goes back to the left back. Oh, just gets away from his man. As Saleh, that towards Nigo, and that was cut out. Rashford. Phillips now, long ball over the top. Sancho's through. Will he square it back? He goes for goal, and it was saved by the leg of the goalkeeper as we now go into the final 5 minutes. Hungary have had one shot on target. They scored that one shot on target, and as it stands, this is slightly concerning. I've got to be honest. As Calvert-Lewin heads that down to Foden, he goes back for Kyle Walker. Ball over the top, straight through to the goalkeeper Galatsky, and he'll have a chance to launch this upfield. Hopefully we win this first header, and we do. Kyle Walker wins it. Sancho down the right hand side, goes in field to Foden. Tackle, but manages to regain the ball. Back to Rice. Rice bombs forward into Sancho. I think he's offside as Rashford puts in at the far post. I think both of them were offside, if I'm completely honest. Sancho for sure looked offside here on this near side as we just checked the goal. Yep, goal disallowed. Sancho was definitely offside on this near side. Yeah, went way too early. It was just a question then after that was... No, Rashford was level with him when the ball was played. So actually... if Sancho had stayed on side, that would have counted. It's going to be a 2-1 victory, and we look ahead to Poland in the next game. Hopefully we can win that, and we've beaten the second and third best teams in this group. At home against Poland, Ramsdale's in goal, Chilwell, Tomori, Stones comes in to partner Tomori, James comes in at right back for Kyle Walker, Henderson sits in front of the defence again. The central midfield duo is Phillips and Rice. Foden comes in on the right hand side to replace Raheem Sterling, who has gone back home after he picked it up to knock against Hungary. Sancho comes in on the left and Abraham comes in up front. It is slightly weaker, I will admit that, but some of the players didn't have particularly good games in the last game. Sterling obviously went back home injured. Grealish didn't have a good game, so that's why we've changed both wingers. We've brought Declan Rice back into the midfield to partner Kalvin Phillips. Henderson keeps his place and Reece James gets a chance at right back. So let's go. Rice now. on the far side. Can he get past his man? He does. Gets lucky to get past Klitsch into Reece James. Ball whipped in. Abraham takes down. Lays it back to Phillips. Shot blocked. Henderson there. Shot blocked again. Sancho into Chilwell, who beats the goalkeeper. And it is 1-0. And after Poland got in the way of multiple shots from ours, we finally hit the back of the net. Ben Chilwell scores after coming into the side. Reece James' ball in. Abraham chested down, laid it back to Phillips. His shot was blocked. Henderson took it down. He had a shot. His was blocked. Sancho then just nodded into the path of Chilwell, who volleyed it home. Keeper didn't move. It's 1-0. Ball over the top now. Foden. Can he keep it in? He does keep it in on his left foot. Puts it back to the edge of the box. That was poor. But Henderson nips ahead of Lewandowski to win it back. Phillips into Sancho now. Ball over the top. Abraham. Is he onside? And the shot is blocked. And Poland are doing so well at getting back and stopping us from hitting, well, getting the shots on goal. As the ball comes in, headed away from Abraham. Foden picks it back up. Can he do anything? Drives towards the ball. And why he didn't get that ball in, I don't know. Goes all the way back to Stones. And that will probably be that. As we look through this Polish side, Lewandowski up front, Matty Cash and Wojciech Szczesny playing. Notice a lot of our players come down their left-hand side. Maciej Rybus is their left back. As we go half an hour into this game, it's been pretty dull, but we're 1-0 up, and that's all that matters. Ball over the top, and Ramsdale collects that comfortably, rolls out quickly to Tomori, trying to get forward, but I mean, we didn't do anything there. We've just conceded possession and let Poland come back on the attack. Out to Konaski on the left hand side to Rybus, ball in, and Sebastian Szymanski has equalised right on the stroke of half time. And who was meant to be picking him up? Szymanski put the ball in, just continues his run, no one goes with him. Tomori was just in all sorts of trouble, so was Chilwell. He was between the two of them, and not one of them went with him. And at half time, it's 1-1. That's a poor ball from Sancho. And it's not as if Poland have been better than us. We have given the ball away so much and so poorly at times. As Zielinski into Krajciowiak. Lewandowski now goes in field to Klitsch. Stones nips in and wins that back. Little 1-2s as Stones out to Chilwell on the left hand side into Sancho. Lays it back to Henderson. Phillips once again. He looks at ball over the top. Chilwell is in behind. Squares that ball across. Foden goes down. It's going to be a penalty kick. I felt like Abraham maybe could have got there if he'd have busted the gut. He didn't. Phil Foden went down. Referee's going to check this. There's no way this can't be a penalty, because Foden puts that, well, at least gets the shot away if he gets to that ball. Rybus is booked. Foden steps up to take the penalty. Saved by Wojciech Szczesny. And this isn't going well at all. A couple of tweaks to the formation, hopefully trying to get something in these last few minutes of the game, as Ramsdale looks long towards Kane, flicks it on to Sancho. His ball over top. Grealish is in behind on the right hand side, pulls it back. Kane's there, and he's missed the target. What a chance that was. Went more direct, and I thought for all the world we were gonna score there as that ball goes through. Grealish is in behind once again. This time he's one-on-one. This time he shoots, he scores, and we go 2-1 up in stoppage time. 90 seconds into stoppage time, and after Grealish got in behind just and squared it for Kane, who missed. This time he took it upon himself. Alexander-Arnold with the ball in. Grealish run past his man. Great running from him here. Touched it and just outside of the foot, round the goalkeeper into the far post. It's 2-1. And we have turned it on its head, although there is a chance now as Reka puts that ball in. Stones sends it to Chamberlain. He runs away from his man. Give it to Alexander-Arnold. Can he find a ball down the channel? Keeps running with it. Man then staying away from him. Infield to Chamberlain. What's he got ahead of him? Nothing. Hits a shot just wide. And we have created an awful lot here in stoppage time. And hopefully this is the last highlight, and hopefully it is our attack as Alexander-Arnold looks to put this corner kick in from the near side. Out swinger towards the far post. Everyone's missed it, and Lewandowski can bring it away on the far side. Hopefully there's no counter-attack on here as he looks for Frankowski. Frankowski is in behind the fullback as Henderson brings him down, and nothing's going to happen. As Kittel puts that ball in, Maguire heads it away. Kane now can bring it away. Surely that's got to be it. Square it. Give it to Sancho. Now Sancho runs through. Is there going to be a pass on for him? And just trying to be too cute with it there. But it has finished 2-1. Jack Grealish winning the game for us later on. After he ran through beforehand and squared it for Kane, who missed. He then scores the winner moments later. 2-1. We did deserve that. We didn't play particularly great in that first hour or so, but we run out 2-1 victors, and we keep our unbeaten run in this qualifying stage going. So, games against San Marino and Albania, and this is a much changed side. The goalkeepers are Fraser Forster, Sam Johnston and Aaron Ramsdale. The defenders are Kyle Walker, John Stones, Tomori, Tyrone Mings, Ben White, Josh Wilson, Esbrand. The midfielders are Jordan Henderson, Travis Chalobah, James Ward-Prowse, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Bukayo Saka, Jared Bowen, Raheem Sterling and Harvey Barnes. And then the strikers are Anthony Gordon, Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane and Tammy Abraham. I didn't realise how much people get upset when you leave them out of international sides. And there's no option to just say, we're playing crap teams. We're just, looking at other stuff right now. In terms of caps, Sterling, obviously there were 72 caps. We got a couple of players down here at the bottom. Jared Bowen, Josh Wilson, Esbrand, Anthony Gordon, Trevor Chalobah, who have not got international caps yet. Chalobah is obviously at Chelsea. Anthony Gordon is at Sheffield United. Josh Wilson Esbrand is at Nordsjælland, and Jared Bowen obviously is at West Ham. Now the reason we've picked this side is we went to the league form, we had a look who was performing best in their respective leagues, and we picked the side. So it is much changed, but we beat San Marino last time 13-0, so I'm not too concerned about the side that we've got here. We're probably not going to play some of these experienced boys anyway. Probably a lot of these players that have got 10 caps or less are probably going to be playing in these games. But time to get around, time to see if any of these players are any good and can possibly force their way into the World Cup
Team
side. For the away tie at San Marino, Sam Johnston's in goal, Esbrand at left back, Mings and White at centre back, Walker at right back, Chalobah in front of them, Ward-Prowse and Bellingham in the centre of midfield, Gordon on the left, Bowen on the right, Ollie Watkins up front. And let's see if this makeshift side can do better than the 13-0 we beat them at Wembley. Just the 6 with this makeshift side. Anthony Gordon got a hat-trick, Ollie Watkins got 1, Harry Kane off the bench to get 2. He'll be very, very happy with that. Wilt, the Sheffield United man, 20 years of age, 1 cap, 3 goals. Did the job. Ollie Watkins as well in the 16th minute. Those 2 goals just before half-time. I would say sealing it, but to be honest, when we scored 2 in the first 16 minutes, that was pretty much comfortable then. But you see, our goals came 13 and 16, 42 and 45, 79 and 85. So we'll show you Anthony Gordon's hat-trick on his debut. Only 40 shots to the 22 on target this time. Yeah, let's just show you the goals and show you Anthony Gordon's hat-trick on his debut. Here's the first one. Walker, ball into Watkins, laid off to Bowen. He squares it across. Gordon arriving at the far post, beats the goalkeeper for 1-0. A couple of minutes later was when Ollie Watkins got his goal. Bellingham's ball over the top. Watkins through and just puts it over the goalkeeper for 2-0. And then the second and third for Gordon, Watkins into Gordon. That was a great finish under a little bit of pressure. Keeper probably should do better, but it is San Marino at the end of the day. Walker out to Bowen, Bellingham through ball. I thought Watkins probably should have got there, but he just let it run across him. Gordon put in. Maybe Watkins was offside. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it back that many times. Here was the next goal. Sterling into Kane. He gets his first against San Marino, and then 7 minutes later he gets his second. Henderson nips in there. Saka into Ward-Prowse. Through ball for Kane. Onto it. Takes a touch. Smashes it behind the goalkeeper. 6-0. Comfortably done with a makeshift side. So a slightly more difficult game we played on Albania. This time we're at home though, so it's Ramsdale in goal. Wilson, Esbrand, White, Stones and Walker across the back. Chalobah in front of them. Phillips and Henderson in midfield. Barnes one side. Saka the other. Watkins up front. We kept considering we only beat them 3-0 last time out, but we're at home and hopefully we should do a job and another comfortable victory, hopefully. Pretty comfortable 4-1 victory. Henderson, Saka, Sterling and Kane, 2 late goals, pretty much sealing it. That means that the group stage looks like this. We have come first, 28 points from 10 games. All the games that we took charge of, we won. There was just that 0-0 draw against Poland before this save began. And job done. European qualification assured, and we'll have the Nations League next. We're not going to show you any of the Nations League. We'll just show you the results after we've gone through them, and then we'll be on to the World Cup in Qatar. Next lot of fixtures, the last lot of fixtures before we go to the World Cup in Qatar. Although I say that, barring some friendlies that I imagine will probably be in just before we start the tournament. We beat Sweden in a friendly 3-0. Saka, Sancho and Grealish getting the goals there. So our group for the European League Division A Group 4 is Hungary, France and Poland. So we play Hungary, France, Poland and France in that little spell there between the 4th and 15th of June as we come up to sort of the real life point of this save. And then in September we take on Hungary and Poland. Not overly bothered by this. I'll bring you the results from that week and plus anything spectacular that may or may not happen. And then the same for the games against Hungary and Poland. We're not too bothered about the Nations League. So like I say, play the 4 games, we'll show you the results, and then we'll play the 2 games there and we'll show you the results for them as well, plus anything that does happen that might be noteworthy. Right then, after some weird sound issues, the Nations League finished like this. We beat Hungary 2-1, lost against France 1-0, beat Poland 4-2, lost against France 1-0, beat Hungary 2-0 and beat Poland 5-1, which meant that we came second. France just dropped 3 points. They'd lost against Hungary in the last game when they'd already won 5 out of 5. And the World Cup groups, we came up against Australia, Nigeria and Spain. We beat Australia 2-0, we beat Nigeria 5-1, and we come up against Spain now in the final group game of Group D. Both of us have won both our games. We both have a +6 goal difference. We both have 6 points. So we are playing to see who wins the group here in Qatar. Also today we did get our European Championship qualifying group stage. We have got Andorra, Estonia, Serbia, Slovakia and Turkey. So we've got 25th in the world Turkey, 37th in the world Slovakia, 35th in the world Serbia, 116th in the world Estonia and 168th in the world Andorra. So pretty easy qualifying group for the European Championships, our next major competition of this experiment. And the team for the big game of this group stage, it's Ramsdale in goal, Chilwell, Rice, Tomori and James across the back, Henderson sat in front of them, Bellingham and Foden in the midfield, Sancho on the left, Sterling on the right, Kane up front. And the more I look at this, the more I don't want Declan Rice playing in that position. So Declan Rice can swap with Henderson, Stones coming at the centre back, and we're going to go with that side. Tomori now over halfway, running forward. Can he find a ball? Goes in field to Rice, gets it back. Out to James, who's coming inside from that right side, Sterling. Ball through for Sancho on the opposite side, and Unai Simon keeps it out. First real chance of the game. It falls to us, but we cannot find the back of the net. Still 0-0. Foden's corner kick comes in and headed away. As Sterling picks it back up, can we create something as he drives towards the byline? Pulls it back to Stones. Can he get the ball in? And he can't. And it's still 0-0. James now. Tackle goes in, but he gets the ball to Foden. Through for Kane, and Simon gets out comfortably and beats Kane to it. And now he can bring it forward. Smash forward, but we win the header. Sterling now in field to Foden. Looks like ball for Bellingham, who chips it over the goalkeeper and onto the top of the bar. And it remains 0-0. We have been on top here in this opening 20 minutes or so of the first half. As James now looks for Bellingham, who's got in behind the defence towards the byline. Can he pull it back? Tackle goes in by Azpilicueta. Gets it forward to Ferran Torres. He can run it out, but Bellingham nips back in, switches that ball out to Sterling, takes a touch, and he strikes the ball wide of the post. And we really need to make these chances count here. As Foden's corner in towards Bellingham, headed in. Kane, who was virtually on the post, hits the post. And Spain have done nothing here in Doha, but we know this is a game we can't afford to keep wasting these opportunities. And this domination that we've got here early on in this game, as Ferran Torres, can we put him under pressure? Has to go back. It's now Busquets. Looks like ball to Azpilicueta, who's got forward inside the fullback. Hits a shot from distance. It's wide, and that is their first chance of this game. And it's restricted to a 25 yard effort. As now Chilwell has a throw in into Bellingham. Rice. Bellingham gets it back. Laporte smashes it away, but Stones can bring it forward under no real pressure now. Goes back to Tomori, who has no pressure on him either. Rice looks that ball into Sterling. Hits a shot. Simon keeps it out. He's made a couple of good saves here, coupled with some bad finishing from us, and it remains 0-0. James with the free kick towards Sterling, who's missed the target. Offside. No, it wasn't offside. Flag didn't go up. It was just the flag went for the goal kick. This is frustrating because we have been on top, and I think if it stays like this, we come second, and we've been in such a position to win this game. We should have at least one goal. And that goes through to Llorente. And Marcus Llorente, first chance, first goal, of course it is, hit on the counter-attack. Talk about getting FM'd by Spain. 56 minutes gone, it's 1-0. And so disappointed. Marcus Llorente getting the goal, half an hour to play, that's our only shot on target, it's 1-0. Jose Gaya to take this free kick towards the far post. Missed by everyone, and Marcus Llorente puts it in, and we're going to lose 2-0. Is that their second shot on target? Surely not. Talk about FM. Llorente at the far post. 18 shots to 4, 8 shots to 2. They win 2-0. Of course they do. The thing is, it looks like we've had a poor game, and we haven't. Look at 2.11 XG, and we scored no goals. 0.47 XG, they scored 2. So we lose our final group game 2-0 against Spain, and we'll see how the knockout stages look after that. So as a result of that defeat, we play Switzerland in the second round of the World Cup. So we navigated the second round of the World Cup very comfortably. 5-0 victory over Switzerland. Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold came with 2, and an Elvedi own goal meant that we won 5-0. It means that we get Croatia next up in the quarter-finals. So Croatia, a team that we have played in both of the previous major competitions, losing against them in the semi-finals of the World Cup in 2018 and in the 2020 Euros in 2021. We obviously played them in the group stages, and we come up against them in the next game in the quarterfinals with a chance to make the semis. Semi-finals like this: Argentina versus Spain, Croatia versus England, France versus Belgium, and Italy versus Portugal. Let's get into the game. This is the team lineup: Ramsdale, Chilwell, Rice, Tomori and James. Henderson in front of them, Bellingham and Jones in midfield, Foden one side, Sancho the other, Kane up front. Hopefully we can turn in a performance like we did against Switzerland, where we can hit the back of the net, and not one against Spain where we get FM'd, where we just cannot find the net for love nor money. James now with the throw deep in the right back position. Jones, James gets it back, Sancho takes it down past his man, comes Chilwell who hits it over, and again it looks like this is going to be a Spain match revisited, not hitting the target. Dejan Lovren now looks forward to the right fullback, Vlasic, Ivanescus, and it's cut out by Henderson. Kane now inside the centre circle, goes back to Henderson. Rice, Bellingham's dropped deep, but there's no forward pass for him on there. Henderson finds a forward pass towards Chilwell, back to Foden, infield to Bellingham, nice little pass in there. Bellingham gets it back into Foden, who's beyond the defence, and hits it straight at Livakovic. What a chance that was. Great work as we got the ball forward, and it's still 0-0 as Sancho to whip this corner in towards Kane, headed away by Lovren. And we are not making the most of this at all as Sancho receives the ball back under pressure, infield to Bellingham now, back to Henderson. We're not being able to get the shot away. I don't think Bellingham's shot is blocked. Chilwell now drives towards the byline. He crosses blocks into throw-in on the near side, and we need to make this pressure count. We saw what happened in the games against Switzerland and the game against Spain. We made it count against Switzerland and we won 5-0. We didn't make it count against Spain and we lost 2-0. Kane heads it down and Foden's at the post. Modric with the ball in, and Vlasic is at the post now, and James can clear that away, and that's Croatia's first real chance of the game, and they nearly hit the back of the net, and that is what we've got to be so wary of today, because it happened against Spain and it could happen against any of these teams. We have been so much better, but we just cannot find the net yet again. Net here, and it's 0-0 as we go into the final moments of normal time. And are we going to go to extra time here in this quarter-final tie? We are. Alexander-Arnold now to take this throw into Rice. Now it's into Sancho in the box. It's blocked, and he's found his way in, and Jack Grealish scores, and it's 1-0. 2 minutes into extra time. Jack Grealish, after a bit of a goal-mouth scramble inside the 6-yard box, finds the back of the net. Livakovic didn't see it coming. You see the throw in here. Rice back to Alexander-Arnold. He's ball into Sancho. He's fired the shot. He pinballed around and somehow fell to Grealish, who just prodded it home from about 6 yards. It's 1-0. 92 minutes into this game. Alexander-Arnold now goes short to Stones, over towards Tomori, and Brozovic now can bring it away. Inside left channel, is he going to get over halfway? He does get over halfway, there's not a lot of pressure, into Orsic. Orsic now, no one on him, gets in towards the box, towards the byline. Tackle goes in by Rice, that's going to be checked, but I'm pretty sure that looked like it was from outside the box. Penalty's been awarded. That did not look like a penalty, and 5 minutes after going ahead, it looks like we may concede here from the spot, as Kramaric will step up to take it, scores 1-1, 8 minutes into extra time, and Andrej Kramaric gets the goal for Croatia. It's 1-1. Orsic with the ball in, and it's found its way in, and Kramaric scores. That's going to be checked, but I'm pretty sure he was onside. And just before half time here in extra time, it's going to be 2-1. Yeah, it's going to count. Ball came in, Guardiola saved by Ramsdale, and Kramaric pretty much on the line to just tuck home. It's 2-1. Gio, Bellingham, Grealish looks that ball over towards Sancho, cut out, Orsic, Guardiola, back to Sosa now. Can we put him under any pressure? Goes back to Livakovic, out to the left fullback. Now Piatek, Kovacic, Palisic, looking for Kramaric. Tomori wins it, Foden on the halfway line, gives it to Alexander-Arnold. Sancho now drifts wide. There is 10 minutes left. That ball goes into the channel for Kane. Can he get the ball across under a bit of pressure? He goes down. That looks like the same as the foul that they had. That should be a penalty as well, I would think. Are we going to get that look? Because I didn't think theirs was, but that didn't look like one either. But, you know, no penalty. Of course it's not. Oh, sometimes you just need that look. And maybe we're not going to get it today, as Alexander-Arnold's ball is poor. Couple of minutes left now. Can we create something? Foden over halfway now. looks at that ball in towards Grealish, who gets there. He's hit the post. Oh, Tomori, Alexander-Arnold now. Into Foden, we're into stoppage time now. Ball over the top, headed by Lovren back to Livakovic. Is there time for one more chance in this game, or are we going to fail in our first competition here as England manager? Less than 10 seconds, ball looks forward, Tomori heads it, Brozovic, Foden gets there first, looks forward for Grealish. Is there a chance? There's not. We're out of the World Cup, and that is so disappointing. We played well, we had enough chances once again, and we're out of the quarter-final stages. And maybe this experiment isn't as good as I thought it would be. We have failed here in Qatar, and I'm acutely aware of how long this episode is at the moment. We are going to end it right there at the end of our World Cup failure, our quarter-final World Cup failure. And we will come back next Saturday for part 2, where we bring in the qualifying stages for the European Championships and the European Championships in 2024. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel. It has been a failure in my eyes, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.